Stallion appears to be falling off. So let's go ahead and read into this real quick. What's going on, Meg?
Something got to change from the hotties and me. And I don't like fussing, but bitch, I kind of want to fuss. Somebody said you trying to sugarcoat it. It's not even nothing particularly bad about like the hotties. Like I just want to express what I'm feeling in a clean way. I feel like bitch ho, something got to change. Something got to change from the hotties and me.
God damn, like she sounds unintelligent. Goodness gracious. It was a stream a while back when Angry Man was talking, and he was talking about how like our celebrities back in the day wasn't super intelligent, but they at least tried to sound like like they had sense, and especially if they wasn't rappers. I mean, because really you only hear rappers talking interviews and sound stupid because some of these niggas was really from the fucking gutter, like them Cash Money niggas. Them niggas is from the gutter. You understand? Like Louisiana is like New Orleans is one of the poorest cities in the world, especially after Katrina. You understand? So when I visited New Orleans, the tour guide talked about how a lot of kids are not in school because for the most part that city is split into like two halves, like the haves and the have-nots. You know what I mean? Shit is crazy. But anywho, yeah, man, we don't know. What the fuck was that? She didn't say nothing. But let's go ahead and read what the good bro had to say, man. What do you say? So it says Megan Thee Stallion went on live last night, seemingly inviting people to her pity party after her new song flopped hard and saw more than a 41% drop on Spotify the next day. See what happens when a machine stops botting for you and gives it to Dochi. You're surprised because they lied to you. So again, um, male leadership, right? So Meg Thee Stallion is not really tied to any male rapper. So back in the day, what made all the female rappers legendary, right? All the female rappers that you think about and talk about all the time, they were always tied to and associated with extremely talented men, or they were part of a group or a clique. But with that, they got mentorship and their styles were well rounded because they were around men. And shout out to Av. This is a conversation that went on in spaces. And he was talking about getting the females more shine. And it's like one of these things. Honestly, battle rap, it's not like I don't want to call it simping, but there's this female battle rap conversation that goes on in battle rap about basically there being some kind of disparity or inequality, between female and male battle rappers when all actuality, um, just be honest, it's just two different skill levels, and it's different skill levels. I mean, it's keep it 100. Females don't rap as good as men. Women don't do a lot of things that are for men or started by men. Women don't really do it better, or they can't really compete in that arena. I'm not saying it's not no girls that rap good. There's a lot of girls that I like, but I mean, just keep it 100. It's not. It's first of all, so many different things that have to come together for a female battle rapper to be good. You know what I mean? One of them is having a voice. A lot of women, because they're smaller, they're not able to project in a way that sounds good and sounds like battle rap. Like someone like say a Jazz the rapper. Now she has a great rapping voice, but her voice is deep. She has a deep, damn it, like a dude. You know what I mean? Some women have deep voices, so when she raps and shit, they don't sound bad. Or when she don't sound like a dude, but her voice is deep. All right, that doesn't have that many female characteristics to it. You know what I mean? So she sounds better battle rapper. But anyway, but but it's always this thing about helping them, right? But shout out to Av, made a good point about female rappers in general will look up to the men and they will emulate the men, right? And copy the men. And what happened when Thought rap and 304 rapping were basically that whole city girl, all them girls came out at the same time selling that same bullshit. basically, I know I look regular, I know I look normal, but trust me, I'm not a beautiful woman, but I'm a bad bitch. Bad bitch and beautiful women have come down to becoming two different things. Because bad bitch is a church and a religion. It's not about how good you actually look. Because a lot of girls that's unattractive, I've heard a lot of women who's unattractive say a bad bitch, that they're a bad bitch. And I'm serious about that. Girl I know was extremely overweight, and she was playing, but that's not funny. You never hear niggas play about being like, a trust fund baby. You know what I'm saying? Or about being rich. You know what I mean? Like, or you don't hear dudes joke about having a horse cock. You don't joke about that. Not really. Like, oh yeah, I got sugar. I'm so hung. Yeah, if you're not hung, you don't joke about shit like that. Okay? Because you'll be called to task. Called to task. Is your phone ringing? That's me. It's me. The world doesn't deserve a six-pack dice. Niggas always gotta show that. Anyway, all right, man. Let me read what the bull had to say. But also, too, let me get back into the whole leadership thing, right? I don't know if she pissed off and whatnot, but basically, that support, I guess, has been withdrawn, right? And also, as I said before, being as though Megan is not tied to no one, for one, Megan, what we started doing with females is, what we started doing with rappers in general is, no, like rappers and R&B singers, like y'all stop showing improvement. Y'all don't display y'all don't do any displays of skill ever throughout your career, and that's another reason why, like, y'all don't have longevity, because Meg, again, she didn't do any of the things that the greats do. You never battle raps. You never came through and did a freestyle on Flex. None of that shit. Like, you're not that kind of rap. Like, when that was one of the worst things that happen to artists is no one asking you to rap on the spot. All right, around the beginning of the 2010s, it became a thing because more and more artists couldn't actually rap well. Like, they weren't actual rappers where, like, they had bars. They were someone who had a song. All right. To really be an artist, you have to have bars and a song. If I can't throw on a beat and you can't just rap to the beat and display your skill, you know what I'm saying? That's the same as, like, yo, you being a singer and you can't do covers. Like, you cannot sing someone else's song. You cannot make it your own whatsoever. If that was the case, niggas would say, oh, then you really can't sing. I heard so do this cover. That cover was fucking terrible. Or like you know what I'm saying? Because covers are an opportunity to display your range and your level of skill. Okay? Mm-hmm. It is good. All right. So anyway, she didn't do any of that stuff. She skipped that whole process. And when artists skip that process, you are not able to get yourself hot because, for one, you're not really good. Like, she done forgot that you're not actually good. No. You are a Trojan horse. You are meant to sell propaganda and help to bring the community down. That's why they had you out here. Like, Hot Girl Summer is the most devilish thing that I've ever heard of. I never forget seeing this video online, right? It shit was scary. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I clutched my pearls, especially back in 2020. And it's a grainy video where this dude is confronting his girl and they're at a hotel room or it's a hallway or the room, one of those, right? And she's basically there with another dude. And her boyfriend's confront her saying, yo, I came to meet you down here and so, and this is why you want to come down here before me, this and that. And she says, he not leaving and you not leaving. And we don't see the rest of the video, but he's like complaining and damn near crying. And it looked like it's one of those situations where, like, he want to knock a block off. But he's not going to do that because he's a civilized man and he care about it. And when you care about your woman, you don't want to knock a block off. But when men get disrespected to a certain level, it does make you want to cry. It's like calling a woman ugly, like real loud to her face. It doesn't matter how pretty a woman is. If you yell, you ugly wench, you ugly bitch, to her face over and over again, she won't shed a tear. Go try it. I dare you. I double dog tear. You know what? Niggas always gotta show that. You understand? Oh man, hold on.
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
Now let me read the rest of what you had to say. So it says, "Man, oh man, I tried to warn her since the industry execs didn't nominate her, and pretty much told her don't even come to the Grammys. We have our new girl, Doechii. If you remember, they gave Doechii so much camera time where she was in the background doing meme face expressions while Meg at home being lied to by the label, telling her, oh, it's just sitting down to focus on Coachella and new song. Meanwhile, the whole time they know they ain't gonna push or support her more than they have to. They see themselves have to fake her tour numbers. They've seen this. They've seen the have to fake his numbers. It's why she's so confused about what's going on, and why Kendrick Lamar will be too when this much overcompensating. And you think what the hell? Oh, you think the hotties are so big, and it's 30 to 50%, maybe more bots. You get gassed. Basically, he's saying that there's not as many fans of Meg Thee Stallion as she thinks there are, and she has a false idea. Well, I'm sorry. She has a how can I say her she has an inflated sense of how big she is or how popular she really is, and that's another thing that goes on too. Is that yo like I guess you could say it went over payola, right? But you're not able to tell how popular an artist is at times because someone can always fake their numbers. Anyway, she believed her own hype and they booked Coachella, but no one talked about it at all and proceeded to push out a new song to capitalize on that performance, and it's just pure crickets. And my God, you had budget and everything. Label did what they had to do so you couldn't say they not supported you and let you fall on your face. All the best to her, but the label and management have realized the social empathy credit has run dry, and now more people side with Tory Lanez, and they don't want a black female Blake Lively situation in their hands. That's my best guess. Actually, I never thought about her case with Tori being a part of why she's having these troubles. But let me go ahead and show this one too, so you guys can check it out. Oh my bad, I wasn't even sharing the screen. My bad. But I mean, it was the same picture from earlier. But so so this this like the stream? No, what? I'm going to just read what's going on. So see what happens when you let Rock Nation fill your head with lies and bop the hell out of your music first week. Then you end up clueless why your music dropped off and why you got no Grammy nominations, and why they didn't even invite you. Clearly, Rock Nation and labels putting their money behind the next female rapper. They control who isn't desperate for her moment and will adhere to whatever they say. Compared to Meg, who's gotten a false ego, they definitely learning Meg hard. It definitely doesn't help that Nicki Minaj is paying her all kinds of dust and no attention, so there's no clout she can get off Nicki. She tried the other day to get clout off of Tory Lanez, even with restraining order. Her 20 to 2024 sympathy package run is over. No one cares about the alleged shot to the foot. Everybody seemingly wants the guy who shot you allegedly out of prison. Every day, more doubts comes, but what? So when he walks out of jail, he's going to get the biggest welcome home package and features and be an independent artist off that. He definitely got a couple of Drake features immediately. Meanwhile, you're free and flopping already into the whole Amazon show to show the real you. And turns out people don't like what they see even more. What the fuck? I don't know, man. I have to read this stuff beforehand. So basically, what he's saying basically is that yo, you're not really a star, and that's something else too. Like you will have people who will be propped up, so-called propped up. And I always felt that way about like her music. Like I never really understood. I guess I don't understand, but it's like everything about your career just seems unfair. I don't really see like any grind. There's no journey and there's no substance to you whatsoever. But the Tory Lanez, how she handled that was the epitome of how modern women think. She had no foresight in the situation. Like it didn't occur to her at all that you know what the long term ramifications of this case will be dire, and people will look at me differently, and people will look at me as a person that does not have any character. All right, but not only that, but what it was that being as though she was doing it to a black man, she really thought that people wouldn't care. Now I understand that I believe the state themselves charged him or the whatever jurisdiction it happened in, they would have went charging him and whatnot. But she basically could have told the truth and say, you know what, that's not what happened. And not only did they lock this man up, but they locked this man up and gave him a bunch of time. Don't get me wrong, Tory Lanez isn't really the best dude, but in terms of what he's been locked up for, I understand him having to serve some kind of time, but sentencing this man to 20 years in prison, it's fucking crazy. Like, you got someone locked up for 20 years. And also, one of the reasons why it's an important story is because it really represents the relationship that modern men have with modern women. In terms of like what you're risking by having a relationship and spending too much time with a lot of these women. Right? Don't get me wrong, it was a reckless situation, right? But things just didn't have to go that way. All right. Because my understanding, I don't know if I'm from a different universe. My understanding of Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion was that they were dating. I never didn't think that they weren't dating. And it wasn't until like this whole thing happened that she starts talking about him like they wasn't. I'm like, fam, it looked like y'all was fucking. I thought y'all was there. I thought y'all was together. So I'm like, what is this shit? And these are the kind of things that men have to deal with every day if they want to be in relationships where for the most part, women will revise y'all history and say, you know, like for example, like, you know, when men have these experiences where like, yo, you around someone all the time, you think that you and this person are close and all this stuff, and then out of nowhere they just change up on you. You know what I'm saying? And women are more likely to do that because for the most part, yo, like look at the divorce rate. For the most part, what men are picking up on is like, you know what? If this happens to all y'all, that means in this a version of it happened to me. Yo, women have shown, yo, listen, I could love you one day and say I love you one day, and then the next day, I just wake up and hate you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're over the age of 35, you have the objective thinking to realize, yeah, that's happened to me before. And now that we all share stories on the internet, men are realizing, oh, so this is like an inevitable thing that's going to happen with all y'all. So why get married or why be in a committed relationship and basically become emotionally invested just for you to do whatever? You know what I mean? And in this situation right here, this is a prime example of that because these people had a relationship, and you gotta think about what it feels like to be close to someone who got you locked up and ruined your life. In these situations right here, people will say shit like, "Oh, well, you know, that's why you need to be married," or if he wasn't in the street. Whenever bad things happen to black men and men in general, people always try to find a way to say, "Oh, well, you should have been doing so and so." It's like the same thing with Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? So what we got here? Where that video at? Oh goodness, messed up my whole flow. I didn't want to click the wrong thing. That's all right.
Everybody always talk about date your age, date your age.
Hold on, y'all. Fuck, did I just? What's this one?
Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right there.
Where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Cause you know I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage, not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? Cause y'all always talking about date your age, date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy.
Everybody always talk about date your age, date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I
Hold
want
on.
to date my wage.
Stay right
So
there. Stay right.
where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Cause you know I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
Oh, Nightcap and Boost Mobile, presented by Boost Mobile. That's the sign. Nightcap, Boost Mobile. Oh, okay. But now, and then they had their partners over here. I think this is DraftKings, and I don't know what this is. It's DraftKings. So they.
Excuse me. So this video is mostly about the changes that people see on the show after the whole incident and whatnot. And Angry Man made a good point about he's going through all this shit just because he was in a relationship. Now, mind you, this is somebody that he cool with, he's close to, and not only did she switch up on him, she's trying to ruin him. Actually, she is kind of. If this would have happened before the internet, his life would be over. His life might be over, or he would be having a really hard time. But what you're about to see is Shannon Sharp has built 2 platforms by himself. You cannot cancel Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp don't need that bread, bro. He don't need that. He don't need that show. Stephen A. Smith need that show. Stephen A. Smith got an online show too. And I think he does numbers. I don't know, but it's different. People really like this Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp John. Whether or not they have sponsorships, they're going to do numbers, crazy numbers, and make good money from them channels. But anyway, I bring all this stuff up for back to Stallion with her again ruining her image because again what's happening is the world is changing back because the economy is getting so goddamn crazy that we're gonna have to start getting people together. And on top of that, black people, whether we believe it or not, even though for the most part we are kind of cooked, but some of us may be able to get together. And I implore those of us who want to be in a relationship, please find someone. Women, please listen. Matter of fact, that's the main problem. Is that the women are trying to choose the men like kids trying to choose parents, rather than a parent trying to choose a kid. It's like let's say to adopt, right? You know what I'm saying? But because like if you're a kid and like you're trying to come from a position, like, can you imagine an orphan trying to like negotiate like what the parents are going to adopt them? Hold on. Before I go home with y'all and whatnot, what kind of allowance am I going to be getting? Oh no. I can't be adopted by parents who can't afford to give me an allowance. Or all right, what kind of self and what kind of benefits do I get? Do I get a trust fund? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Oh no. I'll stay in an orphanage. I mean, listen, I'm like, I'm not trying to be like I'm trying to be your legacy. But anyway, all right, man. I'm supposed to not be doing this shit, honestly, but whatever.
Niggas always gotta show they.
All right, we are out of here. I love y'all. Please subscribe to the channel. Hold on, before I go, I want to hit that real quick.
New sash.
It wasn't. Yeah.